Hi there. I'm Neat,
I'm
and
Rocks.
this is the Bourbon Barrel. Welcome back. It's been all of half an hour since we recorded our other episode, but for you, it's been a week. So
It is true. You know you missed us.
I hope you had a fantastic week.
I don't
And
care about your week. I
I
hope it gets better because you're watching us. That's it. So by the time you see this, we'll have shoveled or snowblowed our way out of a snowstorm because we have a
absolutely
snowstorm coming in New
they're
York.
coming.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so for this episode, we were going to try the 1897,
Yep.
the 1910, and the 1920. Now these are the higher end of the series, and hopefully they taste as good, if not better, than the original three that we tried in the last episode. And we have a bonus fourth one we're going to try and have a little backstory on.
That's a surprise. You're not allowed to know.
Not yet. It's coming though, so
It's
stay
coming.
tuned.
It's coming. Don't you worry.
All right. So with that, shall
So
we start with the 1897?
absolutely. Are we gonna? Do you want to stick to the same glasses and just
Yeah,
do these two episodes with our glass?
I don't see why
I
not.
think they're both glass. They're
Just
just a coating of some
unless
sort,
you want, yeah, that's glass.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
unless you want to change out your glass. I mean, I'm only doing this to
I don't
see what I
really
got.
care about that. I'm just okay. I just wondering. Yeah, it's weird, but it's true.
Here you go, sir.
Sad but true.
So, yeah, these are actually really cool glasses. And as we said in the last episode, they're designed to sit like that. But last time I did that, I spilled it everywhere and looked like a butthole. So I'm not gonna do that so much.
You didn't look like a butthole. Everybody spills
I look
something
like the
sooner or
whole
later.
butt.
I anyway, you don't look
Uh,
like the whole blood. This is named after the Bottle and Bond Act of
yes.
1897.
So it is
That's the
100 proof.
yeah. Again, the four whiskey row series are all the same mash bill: 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% barley.
So it's just a matter of how much the proofage is.
And I mentioned this to Neat a little while ago. I was questioning what the difference was between the 100 and the 100 here. Because this is bottle and bond, this is 100, and they're both Old Forester. This isn't bottle and bond because they don't adhere to some of the rules, which I believe it's the one distilling season. I believe sometimes they blend these barrels to get to the 100 proof, and it could have been the early season of the year or the late season of the year, so they don't adhere to that rule. So, but it's still pretty much the same thing. Federally bonded warehouse, if it's this, 4 years if it's this. This doesn't have to be 4 years.
It only has to
It's
be
not
two.
bottled and bond. Yeah, two I think is kind of the bourbon stronghold,
Okay.
if you will. But then again, I've still seen bottles that say aged like 30 or 18 months and they still say bourbon and
Really?
stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah. So again, I don't think
Interesting.
there's a lot of,
So,
anyway,
with the sniffer, it's smelling an awful lot like the last one.
I'm getting sweet. I'm getting
Yep,
sweet
yep, they're
notes.
still sweet. And it makes sense if the mash bills are the same, the nose is probably going to smell very similar.
Yep.
I'm smelling a little bit more alcohol, but that makes sense because going from 90 proof to 100 proof. Um, yeah, I'm down. Let's dig.
That's big. I got an immediate burn,
Yep.
like a start burn.
Yeah.
Start burn? Heartburn.
Start.
I know, but I mean it rhymes. I hope it doesn't. The
So
start burn doesn't lead to heartburn.
I'm going to take my second sip now because it's done what it's supposed to do.
It's holding.
So let's try that again.
It's holding in the back of my mouth. It's not holding my chest. That's weird. Not weird, but everything's different. Like whatever.
Okay, yeah. No, the burn is staying,
Burn is thing.
but it is 100 proof.
That's Bernie. We should call Burns Bernie, like Weekend at Bernie's. I could have a lot of good jokes for that. Well, I could have
Wear,
jokes. They might not be good.
wear some sunglasses and some bracelets. We can attach some wires and I can
Absolutely.
make you a marionette.
That's right. Hello, ladies.
So this is interesting. It's not, I don't know that it's as flavorful as the 90.
Well, that would kind of make a little bit of sense if it's just a higher proof. Maybe the flavor sort of burns off of maybe.
Well, I'm
Some
thinking that
flavors.
normally, like the whole thing we thought as to why we like the higher proofs, the more we do this is because it's not as diluted. So you're not getting as much water, you're getting more of the flavors.
Right, right.
Whereas this is almost working in reverse of that, where I felt like I tasted more sweetness, more things here than I do just burn here. Like I have a burn all the way down right now.
I'm still not getting a chest burn.
Really? I
I'm
see a
I'm getting
little
like the
bit of a
back of the
burn.
throat
I've got
burn
like the
sort
back
of
of the throat down to like right here.
down here.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because it's like the back of this, but if I poke too hard, then that's a mess. So
I'm not cleaning that up.
yeah, that's right. it's just it tastes unremarkable to me.
Yeah,
Tastes like 100
it's a
proof
middle of the road barrel and bond kind of thing. Like
bottle of bond, but yeah, I mean barreled in bond would I don't even know what the hell that would mean.
no one
So
knows for sure.
yeah, I don't know that I would be able to differentiate the taste between these two, the 200s at all
Right.
offhand.
This one actually I felt burned a lot more than that one, which is very strange. I mean,
The
that's
blend of
the
batches,
blend of batches might have helped it, to be
yeah,
honest with you.
yeah.
Um,
1897 bottle.
because that could have been a bad batch. I don't know.
It could be.
I don't find it remarkable in any way.
I've seen a lot of super positive. I've seen mostly positive reviews on most
Hmm.
Old Forester products, but I haven't seen a lot of super negative almost anything except the Statesman.
Right.
And again, everybody, including us, doesn't try to like hammer something to the ground saying this is awful. Like this is
Except for Tom Ranch.
you know, we have our exceptions too. But most people seem to really like Old Forester. They've been
And
going for
and again,
years.
we've said is that if they had we've been told that if their marketing was different, they'd be very hard to find because they're very comparable to like
True.
a Woodford or even
Yeah.
an Eagle Rare in some cases.
Same parent company, Brown Forman, Woodford,
Yep. Uh,
and Jack Daniels.
that's actually a nice segue into the next one.
That's yeah. And you know what? I'm gonna tell a hint of a story.
Do it.
There's a guy. It's not that funny. It's not funny at all. I don't think. There's a guy who does Bourbon Real Talk. Is Randy Sullivan? Cool guy. I like watching his stuff. He's very informative. He's very educational, and he's good. He keeps you interested. So shout out. I don't want to like steal anything, but he mentions on there that every once in a while when it comes up that Jack Daniels is bourbon. I've also seen new episodes to me that where he says he has it on tape in some of his episodes. If you watch whichever one, I haven't seen them all. That one of the ex-master distillers of Jack Daniels and the current assistant or under master distiller at Jack Daniels on tape saying, "Yeah, it's bourbon." We just call it Tennessee whiskey because of the charcoal filtration systems, and we want it kind of to stand out,
Yeah.
just to be,
Be different.
yeah. So theoretically, Jack Daniels is bourbon. It checks every box there is. So, you can do with that what you may. But anyway, nonetheless, I didn't know he had actually got it on tape with the distillers saying,
That's
yeah,
bad.
it's bourbon,
It's
dude. Like,
bourbon.
really? We just don't call it bourbon because, and apparently Jack Daniels, because it might not be that show, but I was watching something else. Jack Daniels himself is known to be a very violent man.
Oh,
And like he died because he got mad about something, kicked something, broke his foot, got infected, and died of whatever blood
dysentery.
infection
Jeez. Sepsis.
because he kicked sepsis because he kicked I think it was a safe, and he's known to be maybe they said they're not even sure 5 feet tall. They think he's
Napoleon disease.
yeah well yeah that scratch like evolution like let's be
Yeah.
like theoretically you ever watch Jim Jeffries stand up at all?
Yeah.
Okay, so one of them he starts
Australian.
talking about it, and he's like, so Jesus is about this tall. Like if you go with the evolutionary
Right.
scale, which no, let's not get into any of that. But we're not debating it. We're just saying it's funny humor. Okay. He's like, so here's still Jesus. And you're just like, oh my god.
Dude, Jim Jeffries is hilarious. If you don't know, go watch. I think the one was Bear or something.
Hmm.
But he has like this whole rant on
I
like
know where you're going with this because it's famous. It's very famous. They
not
use it to teach people in classes
no,
in
not
college.
I'm not talking about the gun control debate.
Okay, that I didn't know.
I was actually going to talk about the one where he's at the airport in South Africa and he gets bumped from first class. I'm not going to give anything away. But
Oh, that I saw. I've seen
it's a
every single
hilarious
minute.
bit. It's hilarious.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to watch
he
it
got
now.
bumped from like, and I think it was because of like the boss. Yeah,
He's fun. He's
it's super funny, and he goes
our
and
type of humor, like
yeah,
inappropriate as all get out.
he tells Neil Diamond, "I'm very tired." Oh, that's probably my fault. We had to go home a day early.
Oh,
And he calls Neil Diamond the C word.
oh, we won't tell you what that is, but we'll see you next Tuesday.
That's exactly right. Anyway, so this we've been told
Anyway,
this is the 1910 iteration, and from what we've been told is this is essentially Woodford Reserve, double oaked, but with a little extra char.
yeah, well, yeah, the 1910, and the story behind that, the reason they double oaked it wasn't a plan to make it double oaked. What
Hmm.
happened was they had a fire. That was the famous fire of 1910, and a lot of their stuff burned down. The barrels, a lot of things were ruined, and they had a lot of whiskey left over in vats and no barrels to put them in. So they took old barrels, recharred them more, put them in those barrels, and ended up making a double, the first ever, according to the shows I've watched, the first ever double barreled or double oaked, but still barreled,
Hmm.
unless you barreled it in like some chestnut or some other barrel ever. That was the first ever of those double barreled ever, and it's a very heavy char. She's the master taster lady, I believe, said they char it by to almost a minute, which is almost unheard of because it
Now, hopefully, that's a
from
lot
one
like
barrel
the
to different.
toasted iteration of the Nulu, where they actually toast the barrel, and so you get like those caramelized flavors and stuff. So this could be very good.
I have mild hopes for this. I'm
Hmm.
still this one is going to be the king. Hopefully, it's going to be whatever.
Right.
That's another problem. That's another problem where we come into blinds and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like we hear everybody say this, so
So
now your
hopefully that's got to be
expectations are
something.
there.
Yeah.
So it almost has to meet a different level off the top for us to be like, okay, well, crap. Before we're like, well, it's good, but and it affects like everything is
So with this one,
anyway.
they are made by the same distiller as Woodford Reserve. So what
Right.
we did and what we
Well, it's a parent company. I assume they
same
both
parent
have
company.
master distillers. I
That's good.
don't really.
But
Oh, you know what? I'm sorry. I'm not trying to
no,
apologize.
you're
I'm
not.
trying to apologize. I'm not trying to interrupt. So you did. Don't judge me. You know that the Angels Envy, Lincoln Henderson, when we did it, is the name on it, right? Lincoln Henderson was the master distiller at Brown Forman for 40 years.
I did not know.
40 years, and then he started his own company, Angels Envy. He has since passed away, rest in peace, blah blah blah. But that's where he came from. Back, I don't know if it was back then. He was the master distiller of all of Brown Forman, and now they probably have master distillers, but it's not like Jack doesn't have his own and
Right.
Woodford doesn't have their own. And I don't know all the nuances.
So what I've been told is that the mash bill on this is the exact same as Woodford Reserve. So it is essentially
Is it okay? See that I was not aware of because I didn't know the mash bill of Woodford
so
Reserve.
this is essentially the same thing as Woodford, but it's not really as pricey.
Right.
Like this bottle cost me maybe 50,
I think it was
50, I
49,
think it
but
was
this was
50 bucks.
four, so five.
And then I bought this. Haha.
Oh, what now?
This is the Woodford Double Oaked, and it's a small one. It's like a 325. It's the only one they had, but this was $30.
375.
Yeah, 375. But it was a $30 bottle. It was 28,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
28.99 plus
The normal
tax.
ones are like 55.
And yeah,
Some
usually you're gonna find something. So this was comparable in price, but I think this one was actually cheaper than a Woodford
I'm
Double
getting that
Oaked.
deep, deep caramel
So
smell.
we're gonna try them back to back and see if they taste almost identical.
It could be true. And then
Yep, there's definitely a caramely flavor in there, and that's probably because of the darker char. You're gonna get some
yeah,
more caramelized notes
the
from,
double oaked Woodford is known to be lightly charred.
yeah.
Well known to be lightly, and this is well known to be basically the darkest char that maybe anybody makes, but definitely Wood or Old Forester.
And I mean, if you look at the bottles, like this one right here, this looks darker, and that everything is the same on these bottles. The label on the back, the label on the front, the cork, everything is the same. This is still darker, and you can see that right on the camera.
You know what's weird that I just noticed? This doesn't have an E in it, and it's American, right? Now is that
Oh,
American?
isn't the E the British version of whiskey?
I thought that without the E was the. I don't know. I get that confused because I mean I don't really give a crap.
Yeah, that is the only one.
Crap.
That is the only one of the three that has no E in it. I wonder if that's a typo.
I knew they took the R out. You know what I mean
Yeah,
for the Forester, but I didn't know about
interesting. And maybe it says old fine whiskey.
what was that? This
Whiskey.
one
Oh,
doesn't say whiskey.
no. Straight bourbon whiskey.
Whiskey without the E.
Hmm. Interesting.
That one's whiskey without the E.
So if you know why they took the E out of the whiskey in
We don't care. Leave us alone. I'm just kidding. You can go on.
1910,
I'm just. This is no E too.
leave into the comments because there's a couple of them that have an E in it, a couple that don't, but it's the same company, so it's kind of strange.
Fun little tidbits.
So, all right, down the hatch. Here we go.
Over the lips, through the gums. Look out, stomach. Here it comes.
Okay, this is a definite different taste altogether. I like it a lot more than that 100 proof for sure.
Yeah, the 100 proof lacked flavor.
Yep, this has a lot of flavor to it,
Let me
and
be
it's a
clear.
lot of sweeter
The
tones.
bottled and bond lacked flavor. Because
Yeah.
this one was 100 proof too in our previous episode.
Again, those were middle of the road. This is a little bit better than anything we've had today.
I'm agreeing. I'm agreeing. The
Like,
closest thing is this one for me,
yep,
as far as the like. But again, now you're gonna if you watch a few episodes, you know that I'm the price point guy as far as like again, would I spend $40 on this or buy two of these for $40? Anyway,
hmm.
in case you missed that noise, I'm not gonna do it again. So that's a you problem.
But no, this actually has a different taste profile. I think even though they're the same mash bill, I'm not getting the rye burn. I'm not getting as much like it's a 93 proof, so there's only a 7 difference in proof here, and I'm not getting anywhere near the burn on this.
Remember, like this is the one that's the heavy char, like
Hmm.
probably the heaviest char we've ever drank,
Except for
judging by what they said.
except for the toasted barrels of Nulu.
Do they do it over a minute
I don't know.
at the same
It's
temperatures
a
over there?
toasted, so I have to assume it's
Yeah, I don't know either. I mean, but yeah, it's good. I don't know if it's the char or not that brings it out, but it has more of a like my mouth is trying to discern flavors immediately.
yes.
Whereas this one was kind of
There's
like my
just like
mouth was
there's
like,
alcohol in it.
what's in here?
Yeah, I don't know anything other than the burn that I'm feeling. But this there's a nice burn in the back of the throat, but there's a lot of flavor on the front of the tongue. The
That's how I like it.
the
So,
profile of the taste is there. Like there's different notes you can pick up on the taste.
hmm.
Whereas the 100 proof bottled in
But
bond,
do you actually get a char taste? Are you actually
it's
getting
not char
anything
so much
like
as it is like sweeter caramelized vanilla notes
right?
because you've charred the barrel to the part where it's caramelized the inside of the wood.
Well, that's yeah, and I remember hearing very recently somebody on some channel explain that like the reason you always hear and you should always hear and you will always hear vanilla, caramel, and it might have been oak, but I think that was those were the two flavors.
Yeah,
Is that that's what you're gonna get in oak. Like that's what you're gonna get in any oak barrel that's newly charred, bourbons,
right. Because
those flavors come out of the wood.
like you're caramelizing the sugars that were in the wood,
Right.
and that makes sense. So I could see you putting this over like a bananas Foster and lighting it on fire.
I still they see, and I said that before. Like everybody who drinks these or tries these, there's a constant banana, banana, banana. I have yet to taste something or smell something that said to me banana. And I'm not specifically trying to because then I'm also altering how I'm thinking about it and
Mhm.
what we're doing. I'm trying to just be
I am
honest and
tasting.
open and objective.
I can see where they're coming from, but I think that's more of the wood than it is a banana.
Do you? See, I just even when I
Like I understand. Like I'm trying to think of banana when I'm tasting it. It's like how a banana tastes, so I can try and see where they're coming from because I didn't taste banana.
it's not what I heard.
Did I say banana too many
I
times?
don't know.
I feel like I said banana way too many times.
We've all tasted banana. Don't lie. I had
Delicious. I had one earlier for breakfast.
dude at work asked me. This isn't like some kind of big thing. It asked me if I had. They were like a bunch of people. We were dead at work, and whatever. We're just bull pooping. Um, but that'll be a new T-shirt.
I'll make it.
I wanted to get that shirt from the Whiskey Dictionary. That's a good picture, and it says it's okay to go from glass to mouth. That's my favorite T-shirt.
You never go glass to mouth.
It's okay to go glass to
You
mouth.
know, sometimes in the moment, it's okay to go glass to mouth.
Right. It kills me. It's somebody said something about like they're just having weird conversations. Have you ever kissed another dude because there was girls there and you were trying to like, you're doing stuff and you're messing around? And I was like, yeah, yeah, more than once actually. I'm not gonna mention his name because he's not a huge fan of yours and this that or you're not a huge no, that's not true. You're not a huge fan of his. And but that might
I'm friends with everyone.
um at the time he was a particular manager of a
You
particular
know exactly
place
what you're
that
talking about before you say it.
well the point was, you know, trying to get the two girls to like make out and for, us to do something similar. And I was like, yeah, like I was 20. I remember, you know, yeah.
I've experimented before.
Like it has nothing to do with anything. I could care less. And I don't care. Like if I don't care anybody's anything. Like you like who you like what bourbons you like. You love who you love what bourbons you love. That's your business. You're in love, be in love. I don't care who you love.
Did you ever see Eurotrip?
Oh, maybe once, but I thought it's
Oh, I thought it was hilarious.
I was just
The,
watching Road
the
Trip
robot
back
fight
in
was
the day.
amazing, but the Eurotrip part that I'm talking about, they go to Amsterdam,
Mhm.
and the chick who used to play Harriet the Spy a long time ago, I forget her name. She was in Buffy and stuff too. Uh, her name's
That
not
one.
coming to me. But her and the main character, Scotty, go to this bakery and they get a whole thing of brownies in Amsterdam and they eat the whole thing and they think they're high as shit.
Right.
And so Scotty takes off his shirt and jumps on the table. He's like, "You sold us bad hash brownies." And the guy behind the counter is like this huge Rastafarian guy. He's got like the big beanie on. He goes, "These are not hash brownies, man. We're but a simple Dutch bakery. Now
Mhm.
put your clothes back on, white boy." I lost my shit.
Yeah, I've never gone back and done that a second time, but I know exactly what you're talking about. I tried that again just now, just to see if I can try the chart, but
I like it. It's got I can taste the extra toasted.
While this might not be, for me, while this might not be a straight incline, it's an incline, but it's kind of
Yeah, it's up
doing
and down.
this because I'm
I,
not, this is not,
yeah, I like this one more than I like this one,
yeah, me too.
but I like this one more than I like any of the previous four.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
I would agree. I would agree.
And it's only 93 proof. We've had 200 proofs, and you guys know that we are actually enjoying things above 100 proof these days.
True, very true.
But this 93, great, great flavor. And
Yep.
we're actually going to try the Woodford next because we've been told the Woodford Double Oaks and the
You know what's somewhat ironic is the back of this for the Woodford Reserve just has a WR, and this is the Whiskey Row series.
uh, oh
I just noticed that.
look at you putting things together like Harriet the Spy.
I want some hash brownies. I don't want hash brownies.
They're not hash brownies.
And I'm not going to take my shirt off. That's not true. If you send enough money, or if anybody else will subscribe, for God's sake, subscribe and whatnot. Again, we're not doing it to make money, but
Right.
like
But it's still fun to have people to share it with, you know?
it is. It's like everything else. Bourbon's like life.
This
Like
is
you like what you like.
yeah.
Everyone else likes what they like.
And we enjoy doing this and sharing it with you. And so hopefully you would enjoy, reciprocating and sharing with
I
us.
say it all the time. This is my favorite thing I do on a singular level about me, sort of in a way. Like my kids aren't involved. It's bourbon. My wife doesn't like bourbon. Wife likes occasional wines, and she'll have a margarita once in a while and stuff like that. Like she's not a bourbon whiskey lady.
My wife loves bourbon. She's imaginary, but she loves bourbon.
Well, listen, just because you have 18 irons in the fire, okay?
I don't.
It's not true. He's battling like six different women. He's putting them in some all deathmatch thing, and he's trying to
You beat off women with your left and right. Your women are
our
your
left
left and
and
right.
right. Yeah. What movie's it from?
Ooh,
Your
ooh.
women are your left and right.
Is it I think it's accepted. Justin
No,
Long?
I disagree. Because I don't know that movie like that. That's the only reason I say it.
I don't know. We're gonna have to put it in the comments what movie that is.
Yeah,
And
but we
yeah,
might figure it out in this episode too, because I'm
it's
not done.
possible.
I
That's
ain't
fair.
done yet.
All right. So this is
What are we doing? This is
Woodford.
Woodford.
This is Woodford.
Christ. Oh
You've
my
been
god.
drinking, ladies
If
and
Jim
gentlemen.
Jeffries was here, he'd be like, little Jesus. I'm like,
Jim Jeffries, if you ever watch this, feel free to shout out and
oh, please.
stop by.
You know you like to drink, Jim Jeffries.
Stop by and have some juice.
That's right. We will, oh my God, we'll,
If I ever meet Jim Jeffries, I'll probably shit my pants.
well, I'll remember to stand on the other side of him then. So if I ever meet Jim Jeffries, I mean, I'm not gonna shit my pants. I might piss my pants.
Yes,
We could like, you pee on him in the front and or no, you shit on him in the back and I'll pee on, you shit on him in the front and I'll pee on him in the back.
I don't feel like he's gonna show up now because he's just been threatened.
You've seen his shows. I think this might make him show up more. Honest to God, he's that kind of guy.
I've been downgraded.
He was the last time I was just watching was something about him and his kid, and he was like in it. And of course, she has to do this. You know, that lady that I bought that house for. Like it's his ex-wife. Like
Yeah, right.
you're just like, dude, oh my
Uh,
god! Like he makes all sorts of Bill Cosby jokes, and you're like, ooh, like surprised that. I mean, I'm sure he gets tons of hate mail,
oh, for sure.
tons and tons.
Ian,
Yeah, but
if anything is off limits to a comic, then there's a problem with society.
it is true. I actually think sometimes I could be wrong. We're doing Woodford, right?
Yeah, that smells incredible.
Oh, I like the smell. I'm trying to pull something out of it.
There's sweetness. And I don't know that I'd
My
be able
nose
to.
isn't burning at all.
Yeah, there's
Nothing.
no burn here. There was a little burn here, but no burn here. The proof on this is
They're very similar. 93, 90 point something.
90.4 proof, so we're within, spitting distance. Um,
You're within distance of, unless you're, I
yeah,
don't even know what, one of the dudes that's nose is
it's
insured for
$2
$2
million.
million.
dollars.
Like, to be
I
able to
love that. Oh,
differentiate
that
that
smell.
2 point
Mm.
something percent.
I can almost smell like the caramelized char. Like that's
Yeah. So
it's
far,
yeah.
the
Probably.
nose is my favorite nose thus far today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna feel, can I say I'm gonna feel a hitting bad because like as if anybody cares what we really think about this. But as far as the grand scheme of the world, I'm gonna feel shitty if we do two episodes of Old Forester. Like we pick Woodford. I don't know what to tell you. I'm
It's the
hoping
same
1920 beats
same
it.
company, so
Yeah, it's all brown foreman. That's
it's
true. And again, no, they don't care what we
yeah,
think.
not a spot
They're
hashtag not a
not going to
sponsor.
lie about it.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. If you see these new things coming and they're going to come, and they're going to be big and they're going to be surprising, and you're going to like them, I hope. And you need to subscribe and like us. Um, we're going to be honest about who we are, and we're going to tell that person, that male, because we know right now it's a male. If we have a male on the show that has, it's a big surprise. And if we like or don't like something, we're going to tell you, we're going to tell him, whatever. We'll be nice about it,
Actually,
but we need to be objective.
so since you guys have made it this far into a two-part episodes, essentially, because this has been six old
Two-part episode.
yeah, this is yeah, okay, thank you.
How do I say right?
Thank you, Mr. English.
I'm sure.
Jesus.
The most off the rails of the two of us by far.
So anyway, since you've made it 25 minutes into episode number 2 of Old Forester,
I wouldn't.
I feel like we should
That's
tell
default.
them.
What if it falls out?
That's
What if it falls apart?
that's fair. I won't tell them who.
Okay.
I will tell them that we
I wouldn't say the name of the whiskey.
right, correct.
Okay.
We may have lined up a interview with a whiskey company, a bourbon company, that they produce bourbons. We can buy them here. I've bought 2 bottles in preparation for the interview that we have with the distiller.
I had always seen them on shelves. I just hadn't
So,
bought one.
right, and I'm not going to show you the bottles. I'm not going to tell you who it is yet because that's a surprise for when it comes out. But we're very excited, and
You'd be able to tell if we weren't like down here,
right.
but you know,
And I'm actually,
it's there.
it was set up through a friend of mine. It's very cool. And I'm very excited to do it. And they've been more than gracious in like reaching out to us and like sending us like stuff so that we have, things to go off of. And like, well, not, I don't mean it like that. That's like,
Sorry.
I mean, like they sent us like information as far as like their company and stuff, so we can do our research a lot easier than like having to go through Google.
Right. Good old Dr.
Yeah,
Google.
right.
You know, a doctor I recently saw laughed at me when I said that. I was like,
Dr. Google.
yeah, I was like, well, I looked up to see what was wrong with me, to see what I should be doing, and I checked with good old Dr. Google, and he starts cracking up, man. He was dying. That foot doctor guy.
Did he get in
His name.
Oh, I know who it
Oh,
was.
yeah, yeah. He's cool. He's way cool. He's
Yeah.
funny.
Okay.
And he just started cracking up. And he's like, "Well, it's right." And then he started touching my foot, moving around. And he was like, "Well, if you do see this," and he moved it this way, he goes, "That's arthritis." He's like,
Mm.
"You got some arthritis in your foot because I'm fucking old." And I'm like, "Right on." And well,
Yeah.
anyway, but he was hilarious when I said doctor.
That's fair. No, but this winter was actually quite delightful.
This
And
is gonna be.
stay tuned for that interview because when we do that, I'm most excited about it.
He is. I can see it. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and this is a complete side note, but it's a very similar thing. And I'll show you. I'm not letting anything out of the bag here by just saying this. I'm trying to put together an episode that we're going to air prior to the Daytona 500. I'm a NASCAR fan. My wife is. A lot of my friends are. He's not. That's fine. It's just like bourbon. It's just like life. You like what you like. He's not a NASCAR fan. I am. Whatever. He likes a lot of stuff. He's very into some of the anime stuff that I don't know much about. Right? Like,
I wouldn't say I'm into anime stuff.
is that wrong
I
to say
mean,
it that way? Like I met some of those
I
books
watched
and stuff that
I watched Dragon Ball Z as a child because
well,
I mean, that was pretty cool, but I haven't really watched it.
stuff too though. Like you like
I
lots
like
of shit that I don't.
One Punch Man. That's anime.
What is it?
One Punch Man. It's super funny.
Is it?
It's so basically, you know how like all anime is like always like people like powering up and like being angry and
Yeah,
like getting
yeah,
bigger and like shooting and punching each other.
yeah.
One Punch Man makes fun of all of it
Oh,
because there's this one
I
guy
like that.
and he literally like every time he faces somebody, he just like basically beats him in one punch.
Nice. That would make sense. Yes.
And
That's
like
all.
someone in one of the earliest episodes, someone asks him like, "How did you get so strong?" And he's like, "I did 100 push-ups, 100 sit-ups, and I ran 5 miles." And it's like, and I did it for like a week.
No.
And like when people, everyone around him was listening to like how he got so strong, they're like, "Dude, I do more than that every day. What the hell?"
Mhm. You serious? Oh well, yes. It's sort of the standard old story. The guy who walks in and is just
Yeah,
looking and has no fat on him, Brad Pitt or something.
you're right.
Right? And then somebody else who's been working out for 10 years but fights with weight, and I understand that.
Yeah.
And you're like, I hate you because you're you. Like, you know what I mean?
But it's just
Guy in the
it's
world.
so funny. Like he's like so overpowered. Like it makes fun of every anime ever because it's like always a struggle. Like, oh no, the good guy may lose, but there's a mid. Fight power up that never happened before. And this guy's just like, boop. It's definitely worth a watch. Like, it's funny.
The moment or the thing was going to say was Dale Earnhardt Jr. owns a restaurant chain. I don't think it's nationwide. I think it's mostly in North Carolina, but it's called Whiskey River. And it looks just like this as far as the WR. And they sell t-shirts and stuff when you go to NASCAR events or something like that with his stuff on. But it's, I mean, I don't know. It's just,
A steakhouse with a similar logo too.
hmm,
I think it was called Western Door, not Western River,
hmm.
but still good.
Weird, like
Yeah,
yeah, but yeah, and no, we're gonna do that. If you're a NASCAR fan, I mean, I don't know, if you're not, that's fine. It's more of a racing thing.
that's fair.
There's only one whiskey that I've ever found that actually has a NASCAR attachment, and that's the Richard Petty King Richard 43. It's got his name and his whole emblem and stuff. And there's one bottle at one store that I've recently told you I've gone to that still has one. So I don't know if they're not doing it anymore or what, but it's a little overpriced, and it says right on the label. And I didn't buy it at that time. I bought the three chord that day,
Oh,
and it's about $40, and it says aged 2 years right on it, even though it says bourbon. So
really?
and it's a light
Interesting.
color, and
Hmm.
I just didn't know if it was worth the $40 buy. And as I was about to walk out of the store, on the right hand side, where there's not like a big shelving thing, there's a couple barrels sort of sitting in a little alcove area here, and they've got a couple things on top of it, and it's random things, whatever they put there at the time. And there was one bottle of three chord. I said one bottle twice. I don't know why. There's one bottle of three chord, and three chord I've never seen in our area.
Yeah, we haven't seen it.
No version of it. So I bought it. $40, 81 proof,
Okay.
but it's $40. But it's apparently their baseline offering, not one of the higher end ones, because I've
Understood.
heard good things about it from other people. So
So,
anyway, just for
very good.
memories.
Very good.
So these two
They're similar. I don't know that I've
seeing
seen.
our favorites, I think from here over you eliminate.
Yes.
Like
Yes.
it's
Like
this we
really,
could still discuss.
these two are real close to each other, and I'd have a hard time distinguishing for sure.
Right.
Which makes sense if they are the same mash bill and they're basically the same thing, just with a different amount of char. I don't even know like which one of those two I would pick. I would
I don't
have
know
to
what the
really double
mash bill is on this, do you?
So I've been told that the mash bill on Woodford Reserve is the same as this,
Oh, okay.
which would make sense if all of these are the same. But I don't know that to be true.
No.
I've heard it, but I can't 100% confirm it. So don't call me a liar. Just tell me I'm wrong.
Oh, sorry.
But
I like to do what I'm not told not to do
for what you've all
from a
come
child.
for, we have last but not least.
There's no E. There's no E on any of these.
That's so weird.
I was just checking every
The
single.
last of the Whiskey Row series, the 1920 Prohibitions.
We're hoping it's God's gift to.
This is 115 proof, so it is definitely the highest proof of anything we've had.
True story.
It is not a double oak.
Okay. Woodford has an E. None of these have an E. Woodford has an E.
Interesting.
I swear to God, I thought the E was American
I
and
thought
the
the
not
was,
E
I thought
was,
was English.
yeah, I was going to say Scottish or well,
I feel like the E is English because they're always adding extra letters to their words.
I don't know. We oh, just glance, see what we see. Because we know he doesn't have any Scotches or Irish whiskeys over there. You know he doesn't
So the Blue Note has whiskey with it.
with an E,
How about a Jim Beam? Straight bourbon whiskey with an E. So
and
maybe
that's Woodford. Woodford. No,
well,
sorry,
no,
sorry, no, no, no.
that
I
was
did say that wrong.
that was Jim Beam. Jim Beam.
Jim
So
Beam.
that's definitely American. So the
But
E.
these are all no E's.
So
All of them.
that's interesting.
It
But
is.
it is the older version of whiskey from America.
We can dig into things and find stuff other people didn't. I watch shows all the time trying to prepare for this, and I didn't hear one person come up with that.
Interesting.
We came up with that. Search the bourbon barrel,
Whiskey with an E is probably American.
I guess. So this is
But that would make sense because these were the older iterations when we had more influence from
Scotland,
England.
and yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. A lot of it, yeah, because Scotland's kind of and just Irish whiskeys. Ireland is kind of well known as being older than
Right.
ours. So
Well, I mean, England wasn't around long before the United States that we know today. Because
yeah,
it was
it's true.
Oxford University was around like in the same time frame as like the Aztec Empire. Like, how messed up is that for like blowing your mind with time?
This is weird, and I'm gonna throw a caveat in here a little bit. I almost wish, no, I can't. I almost wish we would. No, we did it right. No, we did it right either way. It doesn't make any difference.
Yeah.
Our show, we did what we did. You shut up. Um,
It's still sweet on the nose, but I mean, these are all the same mash bills,
I
so
like
makes sense.
I like the Woodford nose better than this
I
nose.
did. I did like the Woodford ones a lot.
I feel like we're just crap. I'm again
We're,
like
we're
old
bad
foresters
people.
watching, like their whole crew is like, "What the
Yeah.
hell's Bourbon Barrel saying about us?"
Fair,
Nobody
to
gives a
be
shit.
fair, even if they are
Who
watching,
gives a shoot? Maybe I can come up with that.
this is still their product.
Yeah,
So,
supposedly anyway, is
yeah.
exactly this. I mean, it's this owned by the same parent company, but that's like saying Diageo owns. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, oh
Like,
my God,
kind of a different,
Diageo
yeah.
owns. That doesn't necessarily mean everything, but apparently these ones are closer. I mean, like I said, the guy
Yes.
from Lincoln Henderson was the master distiller for Brown Forman, not for they credit him for being responsible for Gentleman Jack and for Woodford Reserve, period,
Okay.
like across the board. So
But
anyway,
this smells
just shooting
sweet.
the
This
breeze.
smells sweet, so let's get into it.
And we're getting to 114 here. 115, sorry.
This is 115 proof. Yes, this is the highest proof of the day.
Hmm.
This is the prohibition style.
Ooh, went right into my upper mouth.
I'm not picking up a whole hell of a lot of burn either for the proof that it is.
Mhm.
There's a little bit in the back of my mouth and it builds, but there's not a lot.
Right. Have you at one point, any time during these two episodes, now that we've tasted everyone, tasted actual banana?
No.
Me neither. I
I've
scent.
tasted sweetness. I've tasted vanillas, caramels, and things that would go well with a banana. Like I could
Yeah.
eat a banana and drink the 1910.
Yeah, no, none of it is like I wouldn't eat a banana. I don't like bananas. I've said it before. Like it's okay. It's one of those things I can eat. It doesn't make me gag, but it's just like whatever. It's
Like
like
I could pour this over like I said, like a
bananas
banana's foster
Foster.
and light it
Yeah.
on fire and then eat that banana. That'd be tasty as hell. But I think of all the Old Foresters, the one that wins it for me is the 1910.
Hmm.
I
The
don't
old
know. I
foresters.
like the extra char. It's
You're
the
going
old fine
down
whiskey.
22 points in
I
proof.
am going down a significant number in proof. But of all the Old Foresters, I think that's my winner.
Ooh. Have you second sip
I'm
1920?
going for it.
I just second sipped it and it got better. It might have almost. It got better. The second sip got better for me.
I'm still getting the burn. I'm still getting a lot of
Not
burn.
as burn. I
I
didn't get as much burn. Sorry.
see. I'm like breathing burn out my nose at this point.
Um, uh,
Go for it. Whatever you want, man.
no, but
Do it. We ain't got anywhere to be unless we're
eventually,
gonna go buy more bourbon.
I well, doing these shows and then going to spend money is probably not the smartest.
I've done worse.
Yeah, I saw her, but
Ouch.
this anyway. I didn't see anybody. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. Old fine whiskey without the E. Yeah, I don't care.
I think that the 1910 is the winner of the series, which is fine.
Which, and I think plays against typecast because I think just the proof itself, I was almost certain
Yeah,
you, even more than I, would
right.
have been like, oh, absolutely,
Yeah, because
115.
we've been going for these higher proof things. Like the Nulu toasted was like 120 something proof, but it's one of my favorites. But there's no burn.
Colors.
I
Like,
know.
this is 93 and 115. This speaks to the char, the
Like
deep
even with that,
char.
like that is darker. Far and away, this is the darkest one out of the series, but it is also the tastiest in my opinion. It is not the highest proof by any means, but
Right.
it's got the best favor. It's got the most favorable profile of flavors.
I'm agreeing 100% with everything you said. And so I'll be that same guy
On
who
my
would
third
throw in
drink
the.
of this, I can
Wait, this
taste.
was 60, this was 50. So it's a $10?
Mhm. This is still good for the proof it is. There's a lot of burn, but there is a flavor profile to it that's not bad. It's not bad.
I've taken 3 sips of this now
Hmm.
because I poured the one and I do a double sip, like I think we both do basically. And then I took a third, and this has gotten better with each sip.
Okay,
So for me, um, I'm trying to give it a real true like shot because everybody loves this.
and
Everybody.
I don't hate it.
No, right. No, 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 you need to know. But yeah, I don't. They're all. I mean, none of them are bad. There's none of them that I was like, oh my
Yeah,
god, Town Branch. Oh my
yeah,
goodness,
no,
I'm
no,
not
no.
drinking that.
Like, I mean,
We're gonna get hate mail
the
from Town Branch if we get big enough someday. You know that, right? Like we're just pooping on it all over the place.
if they ever send us like a cease and desist letter, I'm gonna put it online.
That'll be great. Because then we've made it. If we
Yeah.
get a cease
If
and
we get a cease
desist
and desist from
from
Town
Town
Brand,
Branch, we've made it.
like I'm not even that mean towards Jefferson Age to C anymore because a lot of people like it, and I feel like maybe I just got a real shitty batch. So we will have to try it again. But the Town Branch, man, you put cat piss in my mouth, I'm not gonna try it
And
again.
that Jefferson's aged at sea, you're gonna see in the near future something called Whistle Pig Road Stock Rye. Now, Whistle Pig only makes ryes; they don't make bourbons, but they're very well known for being built and until he passed away, built by Dave Pickerel, who's one of the biggest names in bourbon. Period. So he built this distillery, which is in Vermont, and it's a distillery at this point. It's not using source whiskeys, and because it's called Roadstock Rye, they drove tons of barrels. I don't have the number across country and back across country on a semi truck. And then they barreled or bottled it and barreled it and proofed it down to whatever proof it is. That's going to be on our Daytona episode. I already bought it. I know it's coming. But that I as soon as I heard about it, it went to Ocean Aged at Sea to me because it's the constant motion in the ocean
Yeah.
kind of thing where like they're
Barrels
trying
are always
to
moving. Yeah.
insert. I was hoping you had a good sex joke, but all right, motion in the ocean.
How about my life?
I was yeah. Ever. His life isn't that at all. He's a good man and he's got options. He's got everything open to him. He can do anything he wants from here on out.
I could fly higher than an eagle.
This show might have stopped him from running for president, but other than that, I mean,
I would never want to run for president just because
incredibly
half of
smart.
everyone's gonna hate you.
Well, that's part of being the president of the United States of
I don't
America.
want to be hated.
Well, that's a little late for maybe a few people.
Well, that's fair.
And I don't know. Actually, I can only think of one, but I'm sure there's you're old enough that somebody else probably hates you somewhere.
I like to think that I'm the villain in at least one story.
Oh, you are.
Oh,
Oh,
absolutely.
you're a villain in at least one story. But
If you can say that you're a villain in at least one person's story of their life,
whew,
I mean, you've made it.
that's I don't know. Yeah. Well, anyway, let's turn the page.
So,
Yeah,
of
well,
all the old
let's
foresters,
get the
which one
shot.
is your favorite?
Yes.
Yeah, I know which one's my
Yeah, I'm thinking I think he's gonna say 1910. He hasn't like
I'm
whispered it.
100% gonna say 1910.
Now he whispered it. Right. Yes.
110% I'm gonna say 1910.
Wow.
And I honestly think that the Woodford is really. I only have to do those. I'm gonna do those again. This is the Woodford still.
This would be okay. Let me point out what I'm about to say here. This one and the one he just is opening now, the 93, yeah, 1910, 93 proof. Um, these three would be an excellent blind.
Yeah,
I would love
we
to
can definitely do
blind
that.
those three right there. Not today because
We've been drinking.
right, right. In case you just tuned in, I don't know how that's possible. You can just fast forward all the way to something, right? In case you just tuned in, and again, we're not selling anything. We're just watch, listen, learn. We're giving you a lot of facts. Like I do a lot of research. He does a lot of research. A lot of stuff is factual. This is not, you know, some of it's
There
guessing.
is something
There's
so
some guesses.
there's something so sweet and caramelized about this that I can't stop. I don't know which one of these I like more. I really don't. They're both very tasty.
And then you said $50, and this one, if you bought this size bottle, would be about $55. Because you said 30, but it goes,
This one was
the price
30.
goes down when you go to up
It's
it.
half the size, and it was almost like it's three-fifths the price.
Right. But that's what I'm saying. If you get a 750, I think it's 55, and I think this was 50.
See, that one seems this one's almost 60 for the double oaked in
Right.
Woodford. It's 60 or 65.
Okay, 60 or 65 versus 50. It's still
Yeah, they're so close, but it's still both of them are delicious.
the proof on the Woodford.
90.4.
Oh, right.
So the proofs are super similar.
So less
You got
proof, more
93,
money.
yeah,
I
but they're both really tasty. This one's a lighter
I
char.
think this is actually a good thing too. I've thought this since the beginning to a degree that I consistently do this thing with price point in my head and you don't as much.
Right.
I think that's kind of cool because we both have different sort of click and flow. That's how I do things. Things click and then I flow with it. This wasn't bad. Like this wasn't bad. Now again, this is the one I bought, right? So this one's 45 and this one is 50. I'd buy this one for the extra $5 before I buy this one for three more proof.
Right.
It's three more proof, and I would pay the $5 more.
No, I honestly,
This cost you bought that, do you know?
Maybe
I don't remember
40.
it.
I don't know.
40,
Somewhere
45,
in there.
50,
I
somewhere.
don't know.
This
We
one
can
was
take a
60.
picture.
This was the high
We'll,
price.
we'll take a picture of their offerings at the one place we go to, and there you'll see the price. I'll put it on Twitter.
Right.
Um,
Are
but
you actively keeping the Twitter thing going? I'm not.
I'm
I don't
trying.
really pay
I,
attention.
I'm trying.
Well, I have Twitter.
I've had life.
Yeah.
Life happened.
You know what though? Your life is, you have so many, like everything's open to you,
Yeah,
and you're smart, and you've
one of
got
it.
things behind you. You're not some poor kid living in the street. Like you
No, I'm not
to get college degrees. Your stuff, man. Fine.
But so for this episode and the two-part episode, I gotta say these are both the winners for me. I'm gonna have a hard time distinguishing between these two. I love them both immensely. I would buy both of them again. No matter what their price points here, like compared to everything else, these are the two, by far the best taste profiles.
Right.
I don't know which one of these two I would choose, and I think we will absolutely have to do like a blind tasting between these three.
I'm going to go ahead and say very similar to him, but I'm going to do my price point thing in a way. I'm going to say between these three, here's the problem for me. With the 20, I felt like it got better every sip.
Okay, that's
Every
fair.
of the three sips, it got better and more approachable and more enjoyable and more flavorful for me as I got into it. So I think these three tie as opposed to when he said these three tie. I'm not sure I could pick the winner there. I'm not sure I could.
So I'm gonna tell you guys.
Wait.
Okay.
I don't mean
Go,
I'm
go.
not trying to be rude at all. Remotely. I mean, you know when I'm trying to be rude. It's like, can I say something dirty in
You
sex or
sneaky
whatever?
son of a bitch.
As far as the price points go, these aren't far off as
Hmm.
far as flavors go. If you want to spend 20 or 25 before you get into the minimum 40, and I think this was over 40.
Mm,
44.99, and this one was 49.99, and these two I didn't know because I didn't buy them.
right.
So I knew this one was 60. I
Yep.
couldn't remember this one at all. So
Not.
it's weird that the
Yeah.
bottled and bond, like I would buy two of these bottles for $50 over this for $50.
I'm gonna agree with you. I would buy that before I would buy this.
Yeah, and I just said two of them because you
Yeah,
get two for the price of one.
that's true.
And they're both so proof. They're both
Old Forester, there's not
Every time I say OF in a text, what does it mean to you?
OnlyFans.
There you go. I kind of only just send him OF because I don't want to spell it all out.
He keeps sending me OF, and all I can see is OnlyFans because I watch a lot of like TikToks.
Okay.
I know. All right, so there's the rails, and that was us going off them.
Yes. Yeah. I've never actually. I honest to God, I've never looked at the website OnlyFans.
I haven't either, but
I'll
it's still like
never.
like on TikTok and stuff. They're always talking about like, oh yeah, this bitch on OnlyFans. Like, I don't. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know how it. I don't know. I just thought viruses on my phone
Okay,
or
I
something.
think I think we should do a short one after this. I'm going to tell you why off camera, but it's
Okay.
about. Well, no, I'll tell you right now because
Oh,
there's like this massive
because he
war.
edits. So.
There's this massive war going on TikTok about like the Vancelord and this other comedian from Canada about like and the Council of Men. It's huge. It's huge, and I think we should do a little thing and decide our fate. I think it's funny.
Today?
Yeah, bourbon's out of it.
Oh.
It's
Well, that's okay too
but
because I double sipped and then
yeah.
triple sipped quite a bit. So
So for me, it's these two by far.
I still
Far
haven't
away.
tried the
I'm
1920.
probably gonna take a sip of one
Did
of
you
these.
double sip the 1920? You didn't do a triple.
I triple sipped the 1920.
You tripled it.
I did.
Okay.
I drank. I had enough where I triple sipped it.
Okay. All right.
It's not bad.
Right.
I like it, but I like these two more, and I think it's because I like that extra toast. I like that extra char. Ever since the Nulus are my favorite. There is nothing on here I wouldn't buy.
This one was surprising to me because, okay, again, and maybe it's good and maybe it's bad to have some sort of influence into what you're about to drink, but I didn't hear a lot of super positives about the 1910.
Really?
And now it's shocking me because I do feel like I have a trouble. I can't say 1920 is the winner, but all I'm saying is 1920 is not out of the winning category for me.
These three
Maybe
are
this should be our first line.
these actually
Eventually.
we can do this next time or whenever. But these
Yeah.
three are definitely the best three of the bunch. They're also the most expensive of the bunch. I'm
Yeah.
not saying that if you're new to bourbon,
You said this one was close to this one price?
no, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought you meant like taste wise. No.
No, that's
No, this one sucks taste wise compared to this.
fair enough. Tough to argue that.
Like honestly, this one sucked taste wise almost compared to the other 100 proof. Like there was so much more burn to this, and they're the same proof.
Yeah.
That's messed up. So, oh, this before this
Mm,
and this price point, you can't beat that.
right.
Old
It's true.
Forester, I believe that you have done some seriously good work.
Oh yeah.
You've been around for
This was
decades.
a fun thing to
This was
do
absolutely
because
great.
nothing was like horrible. Like the
No.
worst of the worst was still like, hey, if it was the
Yeah.
right price, I might even buy another bottle.
Right. Like, I mean, there's nothing wrong with their base product. Like that's fine for like, just if you want to put it in a mix or
It
you want to
costs
sip
that
it, what
it's 86 and not 80. Like a lot
yeah.
of bases are 80.
Yeah, and
So
the extra six
just the
proof
minimum
is
for
another
bourbon.
3%, but that's still not bad. Like. And again, I tasted burn on it. You can definitely tell you're drinking alcohol, but there's still a flavor profile to it. It's not
Oh,
bad.
I put that up against any of those baseline 80s. The
Yeah, yeah.
Basil
Like
and the Jim Beams.
I honestly, I don't think I'll ever buy another Basil Hayden, no matter what. Basil,
Right, they have something else with a red label. I don't know if it's single barrel or limited edition, but there is something we haven't tried, at least on this show.
mhm.
So not to say we should. I'm
No.
saying that there is something else out there.
And
I.e. the bullet episode.
right.
I was not a fan of bullet. We got to the barrel strength, the highest strength. I get to it, and again, it's not around here. You
But
remember what the guy said?
to try it again would
Oh,
be
the only one I would buy
yeah.
off the shelf, it's going to be 50 something dollars, is the barrel strength. And again, I had to get to the highest offering, sort of proof wise and all that stuff. And I was like, you did your oh, yeah. And that means I liked it.
But I
So,
mean,
me up.
the orange label bullet, I made bourbon cherries with, and they were delicious. Like, come on, you had them, you drank
Oh,
them.
oh, they were yummy. I loved it. It was, yeah.
But the I don't know, like I don't know, Basil Hayden. I don't think I'll ever buy, and I've also been told that it's like a low budget version of Old Tub, and Old Tub is super cheap. It's just a watered down Old Tub.
Basil Hayden is the exact same price. Basil Hayden is the exact same as Old Granddad.
Hmm.
That's what it is. As
Yes.
far as Old Granddad is the same mash bill. They're both made by Jim Beam. They're both in the same warehouse, and they proof Basil Hayden down to 80 and charge you twice as much as Old Granddad, even bottled in bond,
So,
is like $20, and baseline Basil Hayden is $40. So there are certain people, I'm not gonna say which ones, who say on their shows, I don't, you will never see Basil Hayden on my
and
list of your shelves.
I 100% agree with that sentiment because
Why would you?
I think since we have the Basil Haydens,
Mhm.
we'll buy an old granddad. We'll put a show up for you where we compare the old granddad to the Basil Haydens. But
I have the 114.
I don't even like the Basil Haydens to drink them. Like
I
I'm
don't
gonna mix
remember the
those.
toast,
I'm gonna
remembering whether or not
the
it's good
toast.
or
It
not.
wasn't good, especially because we compared it to the other toasteds we had, which were Nulus.
Well, that's different.
And Nulu
We should
was.
try those better offerings in Nulu, and that's not me saying to you, you should go buy one today because he has more money than I
I mean, I've been drinking, so
do. Don't. No.
we can go and I'll
Oh,
find one.
no, 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 no. I have to buy groceries and eventually.
Oh, I'll buy them. It's fine.
Well, that's
I
different.
don't have
Now
children or a wife. It's fine.
it's true that he owns a. So he knows he doesn't have a wife. Anyway, um, he wasn't that drunk any of those days, but
Uh,
that's what I said something to people at work. I was like, "Do you know?" Because somebody else was talking about just something about like those DNA tests, like the 23andMe
yeah.
stuff. I was like, "Guys don't want to do that.
No.
Like all the people who buy that stuff are females. There's no guy that's anywhere over 20, probably, honestly, wants to do that because they don't want something coming back. Like at my age, I would say, "Oh my God, I've got a kid in South Vietnam."
Albuquerque.
That's yeah, I don't even know.
So my boss at my
You
real
got it all
my,
that, by the
that's
way.
great. My boss at my real job. He was talking about how this DJ at a wedding he went to was named DJ Chill, and due to like a 23andMe, they found DNA evidence that he had killed someone in like the 80s. And
The DJ Chill?
DJ Chill had killed someone in the 80s. And the funny thing is that he had put them in a freezer and they never knew who did it. So this DJ Chill in Pennsylvania had murdered someone, put them in a freezer, and for like 30 years gotten away with it until he took like one of these 23andMe tests. Like, that was dumb. Don't do that. Isn't that messed up?
On that
Wedding
note,
DJ.
uh,
Yeah.
well,
Neat.
I'm gonna go nowhere we want to go further, so we're ending this, and that's why he did that, and that's a smart move on his part and mine too. And I'm Rocks.
This has been the Bourbon Barrel.